Peace and love, y'all. Peace, peace. All right. First, before you do anything, y'all, make sure you share. All right. Make sure you share because you will be helping somebody today. All right. We live on IG, live on YouTube. Peace and love. Okay. Yes. Today we're talking about basically identifying certain things in your contract. So go grab a contract. Okay, go grab a car contract, mortgage, a lease. Okay, we're gonna do a few minutes. All right, while everybody grabs that. Okay. Yes, peace and love, peace and love. All right, make sure y'all share. Make sure y'all share, family. Make sure y'all share because you never know, who's up right now, just laying in the bed, just strolling. Okay. All right, then somebody tag them like, oh, what this is? Grab your contracts. What this is? I should have titled it How to Never Have to Pay Bills Again. That's what I should have titled it. Shout outs to Norm from Canada. I be trying to tell people, y'all, we international. All right, we got a follower from the UK. Her name Patricia. All right, very loyal follower. All right, yeah, go grab your car contracts. Okay, grab your mortgages. You have time, family. You have time. Okay, make sure you share while you're doing that. Yeah, I'm on YouTube and I'm on IG right now. All right, we're gonna talk about security interests. All right, everybody that has a contract, I bet all the money I've ever made, okay, that you gave a security interest. Now I want y'all to comment eight. Comment eight when you have your contract. All right, for everybody that has their contract, comment eight. Somebody said in Canada we have code 96 on all remittance security interests. So boom, folks in Canada. All right, now I have not read this code. Someone says code 96 covers remittance and security interests in Canada. All right. Now, as y'all see, everybody that's comment eight, for everybody that's just coming in, make sure y'all share. Make sure y'all share this live. Yeah, make sure y'all share this live. Okay, everybody that's comment eight is those that have their contracts in hand. All right, grab your contracts. For all those that don't have your contract, it can be a lease for apartment, it can be a car contract, it can be a mortgage. Okay. Yeah, code 96. Yeah, I gotta read that. Code 96 Canada Bill of Exchange Act. Okay. Yeah, I gotta read that. All right. Because I definitely plan on having a class in Canada. Okay. All right. But make sure y'all grab y'all contracts. Make sure y'all grab your contracts. All right. So for everybody that is here, all right, we're gonna start at 9:17. So grab your contracts. We're gonna start at 9:17. That's in 3 minutes. You have 3 minutes to grab your contracts. If you have a laptop, if you have another phone, just go on your emails. And your contract should be in your emails. All right. A lot of folks don't know how to locate their contracts, forgetting that you had to provide an email when you first opened up that account. All right. So once you did that, understand you have your disclosures, you have your contract, you have your agreement, you have your lease. All right. So for one last time, all right, before we get started, we're gonna get started here at 9:17. It's 9:15 on the East Coast right now. We're gonna start class at 9:17. Y'all, free class. Make sure you share. Sharing is caring. Although we shouldn't care a lot, but caring can be daring. All right. So make sure you share. Eston 1973. Goddess, I want to say I apologize. All right, I did get your email, your DM. All right, I just haven't been able to get back to it. All right, but I will answer your question. All right. Who was that? Esteen 1973. I apologize if I didn't say your name right. But I did get your DM. I will get back to you. All right. All right. All right. Okay. One more minute, y'all. Class about to start. Sit your butts in your seats. Okay. Go ahead and finish your blunts. Do whatever you got to do before you walk into my class. All right. Tuck your shirts in. Pull your damn pants up. We don't want to see your ass. Okay. Let's go, family. Comment 8 if you have your contracts. For everybody that's just tapping in, we are going over contracts, car contracts, mortgages, leases. All right? We're going to talk until my phone dies. All right? Until my phone dies, that's when we're going to stop. All right? So let's get it. All right, so go ahead and comment 8 for those that got their contracts. For everybody to see the people that has their contracts. If you don't have yours, just follow along. Okay, just follow along. That's all you got to do. All right, let's go. All right, so first and foremost, let me talk to those that have their car contracts. If you have your car contract, I want you to comment the number 6. All right, comment the number 6 if you have a car contract. And we'll get to the mortgages, all right, after that. All right, so cool. We got, okay, we see the 6s. We see the 6s. All right, so do y'all see the box that shows the APR? All right, the APR rate that shows you how much was financed and things like that. Then do y'all see the total amount? For those that have, that's comment 6. Okay, I see 1 yes. I need to see 5 yeses. Do y'all see the box that shows basically it's the finance charge box? All right, I got 2 yeses. All right, 3 yeses. Okay. 4 yeses. He says his is 29%. I'm thinking that's 5 yeses. All right, so we got 5 yeses. All right, so y'all see that finance charge box. Now, let me ask y'all a question. And be honest. This is not the place to lie. This is not the place to act like you're smarter than you are. All right, be honest with yourself. Do you really know what the finance charge is? Don't even think. Say your first thought. Do you really know what the finance charge is? Be honest. It's okay to be honest. Nobody's going to say, look at this dummy. All right, be honest. Thank you. Who is that? Pie? I apologize if I said that wrong. Appreciate that, Ishmael. All right. Appreciate that, A. Sullivan. Okay. Appreciate that, Mrs. Smith. All right. Sparkle and Barbara Hair. Thank y'all for being honest. All right. For y'all that are saying, yes, you know what the finance charge is, are you still paying the monthly bill? Because if you're still paying the monthly bill, my friend, you don't know what the finance charge is. You can't say you know something, because if you know something, you should be moving a certain way. All right? Because if you're not moving a certain way, that means you don't know something. All right? We have to be honest with ourselves. We cannot lie to ourselves and say we know something when we don't, because that false reality would have us in situations that we're really not ready for. Okay? So for everybody that's saying, hell no, I do not know what the finance charge is. All right, this is what I want y'all to write down. Go ahead and write this down. Write down 15 USC 1605. I'm about to see if I can freestyle the whole class. All right, 15 USC 1605. Write that down. All right, we're not going to go over. I'll go over it a little bit, but write that down. 15 USC 1605. All right, y'all got it down? Give me some thumbs up as soon as you get that down. 15 USC 1605. I always feel like my nose was crooked. All right, cool. All right, so 15 USC 1605 literally is under truth in lending. All right, it also talks about the determination of a finance charge. Now, let me ask y'all a question. Why do y'all think Congress had to go out of their way to make a whole section about determining what the finance charge is? Y'all know why? All right. I think it's because so many people are paying a bill that is included with a finance charge. Y'all see for yourselves. All right, y'all see for yourselves. Y'all see the finance charge box, right? Just give me a yes if you see the finance charge box. All right, so when you go and read 15 USC 1605, it literally is going to let you know that the finance charge is the sum of all charges. All right, and then when you drop down all the way from that big ass paragraph that you're going to read, you're going to drop to number 1. It's going to tell you all the things that you can add into the finance charge. It's going to say the number 1 thing it's going to show you is interest. The first thing you can put into the finance charge is interest. Just follow along with me. Y'all don't ask me no damn questions. Just follow along. Okay? So, we already understand that there are 15 USC 1605. Congress is telling us what exactly the finance charge is, right? We see our contracts that's showing the finance charge boxes, shows the 5 boxes, shows you the APR rate. It's the first box, and then the last box is the total amount. Okay? Now let me ask y'all a question for those that have a car that has the car contracts. Did y'all put a down payment down? Just yes or no. Did you put a down payment down? All right, did you put a down payment down? All right, some people say no. Okay, some people say no. Some people say yes. All right, just need 5 yeses. That's 1 yes, 2 yes, 3 yes, 4, 5 yes. All right, so do y'all see in the last box, you see your down payment, right? Do y'all see our down payment? It should show exactly how much down payment you put in your last box, right? Do y'all see that? All right, so let me ask you this. Stay with me, because this is where things get a little spooky. Do you see the word cash anywhere in that box? Do you see the word cash anywhere in that box? Somebody says yes. No, you do not. Look in the last box on your finance charge box. On your finance charge, look in the last box. Do you see the word cash? No, you don't. Exactly. So why did you give them cash? Let's start all over. Let's start over. All right, let's start over. Let's start over, all right? Because this is where, they call people NPCs and things like that. People just shut down when they hear certain things like, huh, 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 huh. They start glitching, all right? They start glitching, so let's start over a little bit, okay? Remember, the box that you're reading is the finance charge, okay? Right? 15 USC 1605 is going to cover the finance charge. Everything that you need to understand about the finance charge is under 15 USC 1605. We don't have time to go over the whole thing, so let's go ahead and understand. That's what you're going to read when we get off this live. Okay? It's going to tell you everything that's supposed to go into the finance charge. The number 1 thing that's supposed to go in the finance charge is interest. Okay? Did you know that you was also supposed to add life insurance in your car contract, y'all? You will read that when you go read 15 USC 1605. You were supposed to add life insurance, all right, health insurance, all right? You were supposed to add all that, and you were supposed to roll it all over into the finance charge, all right? So the APR rate that you are seeing, everybody that's trying to run around here and get a low APR rate, you are literally cutting yourself short, because the APR rate is supposed to be paid by the borrower. All right, so this is what I want y'all to write down as well. 12 USC 1431. I'm going to say it 2 more times. 12 USC 1431. One more time. 12 USC 1431. All right, write it down. All right, because that is going to be where you're going to read where Congress tells you that the banks are the borrowers. Their number one objective, their number one duty is to borrow. All right. And they're supposed to pay interest. So that APR rate that you see on your finance charge box, that APR rate, people run around saying, I got a low APR rate. You want a high APR rate because you're not supposed to be paying monthly anyway. The banks are literally paying you monthly. That positive bill that you're receiving, that's not something you're supposed to be paying, fam. That's something you're supposed to be accepting and transferring back. All right. Instructing the banks to, hey, I want to go ahead and apply this credit to the account. All right. It's a transfer that's supposed to be made, but that's not happening right now. All right, what's happening is you're going to work. You're waiting for Friday to come. You're getting paid. You're depleting your whole damn account for all your bills. All right, and that's not even how it's supposed to damn go. There is no law. You can't read that nowhere. All right, when you sit somebody down and ask them, where did we learn this at? Where did we learn to go take cash and pay a bill? Because it says that nowhere. I did not read that in the Bill of Exchange Act about cash. I did not read that in the Federal Reserve Act about using cash to pay bills. Where did we learn this? You have to ask yourself that. All right? Because if you don't know that answer, please shut up. I wish I had me a little wine. Shut up. Okay? You don't have enough intel to speak on finances. What if somebody walked in a room and said, hey, if you don't know how to exchange bills, you shouldn't be in financing. Do y'all not know how many people is in the line of financing and telling people you need passive income, you need to fix your credit score, you need to go ahead and get this line of credit so you can get this, so you can go and pay on that with this, and then you use that to pay that, and then you turn around and do that with that. What are we doing? You know what I'm saying? It's all this hot dog, Harlem Globetrotter basketball, all these extra moves to score. You don't have to do that, family. Okay? There is literally a security interest tied into the account that you are paying on. That APR rate is what they're paying you. 12 USC 1431 states that the banks have permission to borrow. Imagine having permission to borrow. That's like selling weed and you the plug, and then you have runners you got somebody that's broke. They got to get back on their feet and say, hey, listen, man, you just give me a QP. Just get me rolling, man. I can get on my way. And I have to say, I give you permission to borrow. Here's this quarter pound. Okay? That's how you got to look at it. That's literally what we're doing to the banks. We're going to the banks and literally fronting the banks a security interest. The banks is taking that security interest, turning it around, going to the Federal Reserve Bank because the CEOs, my bad, not the CEOs, the CFOs, the chief financial officers, are also the Federal Reserve agents because they're the ones that go to the Federal Reserve window and exchange our collaterals. What is our collateral? Our application, family. All right. So that APR rate that you're seeing, that is what's supposed to be coming to you. And it does come to you. It comes to you every single month. Just imagine having the best runners ever. They always pay on time. I used to be mad at the banks, y'all, but now I'm like, damn, they on time every month. They send my line of credit every single month on time. Am I lying? Am I lying? We are literally looking at our payments as in we're supposed to pay it. Imagine a payday being every single first of the month and you're running from your money. Somebody trying to give you, hey, here's your bill. Hey, here's your bill. You taking the bill, throwing it in your drawer. All right, you learned that from your parents because that's what I learned from my parents. All right, when you don't want to look at the bill, you put it in the drawer for later, knowing damn well you're not going to go back to that bill later on. Okay? So now, for those that's paid cash, Go to the last box in your finance charge. You're going to see how much you came out of pocket on a down payment. It's going to say down payment, but it's never going to say cash. Meaning you was never supposed to give cash as a down payment. You know what you were supposed to do? You were supposed to say, oh, it's a down payment? Okay, cool. Roll it over into the finance charge. Did you know that? Did you know that? Did you know dealerships don't want you to know that you can go in and say, all right, yeah, I want all the bells and whistles. I want life insurance. I want gap insurance. I want everything. Because you know why we don't do that? Because we're trying to keep our monthly payments as small as possible. That's not even what's supposed to be happening. We're supposed to be making that payment high as hell. Why? Because we're reverting it back to the estate. The estate is the all caps name that you use on that application. You didn't use your hood name. You didn't use your family name. I mean your family nickname like Little Peaches or Little Day Day or you. That ain't no. You gave them Theodore Roosevelt. Okay, that's the name that you gave them. All right, because that is your government name. Everybody that's watching me right now, you have a government name. So meaning you can run that bill up on behalf of that government name because you are not supposed to be held liable. You are the agent on behalf of the principal. Now, let's say we're talking about trust. Let's say we're talking about if you had a living trust, foreign trust, whatever damn type of trust. Because so many people is literally confused about, well, can I do it with this trust? Can I do it with this trust? A trust is a trust, family. A trust is for asset protection. Okay? It's not something that you get just to be cool. You got to understand how to utilize it. All right? Now, if I have a trust, let's say I'm getting the car on behalf of the trust, right? Now I have to do the same type of performance on behalf of the trust. The only thing different is I'm not going to be agent on behalf of principal. I'm going to be trustee on behalf of trust. You have to know the difference. You cannot say agent on behalf of trust. Okay? You can't do that. So make sure you understand the two. All right? But back to class. All right, so when you understand that you were never supposed to pay a down payment, because there was never supposed to be cash. All right? That also, you should understand you're not supposed to be paying monthly payments because you're using debits. You're using debits. Did you know every debt, there is a credit on the other side, but the problem is you have to perform the credit. The public debt is there. But the thing is, you got to come forth and claim the debt as the principal or as the trust, all right, and basically transfer it into a credit. When you don't do that, it literally just stays as is. It stays in the escrow account. The credit don't get used. All right, you come out of pocket over and over and over and over again to you pay it off, and then you run around and say, I finally got my car paid off, finally. Oh my gosh. And that's not even what's supposed to happen. You done started, became an alcoholic because your bills, you done started doing coke, and you done started doing all types of drugs because you're stressed. You're beating on your woman because you're stressed. You're beating on your man because you're stressed about finances, and you don't even understand none of that even exists. Just imagine how many people is locked up right now for crashing out because they said, I had to feed my kids. I had to do what I had to do. And we're not laughing at nobody. Just understand. Just imagine. God. Do you understand? I don't think y'all understand. Somebody's getting whooped on right now because somebody was at work getting yelled at and they took that anger home. Now they giving everybody ass whoopings in the house. Okay? That's literally what's going on, unfortunately. All because, hey, Frank, chill. You wasn't even supposed to be at work, Frank. Frank didn't have no power at work because Frank had to be told what to do. Frank came home tripping over toys and shit. All right, now he whooping everybody. All right, all because, hell, you the one that spent work all day. You done been at work all day getting yelled at, Frank. But if Frank knew that he can control his security interests and literally get his bills performed, do y'all not know how happy Frank will be? Man, Frank's woman is going to see another side to him. Frank's kids is going to see a whole nother side to him. All right. But if he doesn't, all right, this abuse is going to continue. Now the kids is going to live up under that. A lot of y'all lived up under that. Right? You came up because you seen certain things. Your mom and dad didn't stay together. It was because of finances. I'm going to tell you that. 99% of relationship ends because of finances, family. I'm talking about early. All right, you had a kid and it didn't work out because he got cold feet because he started like, oh, I'm gonna pay for this kid. How? How do I know this? Because I did that. You know, I got cold feet my first kid. I'm like, I don't know how I'm gonna do this. What I'm gonna do? What I'm gonna do? It's really because of finances. If our finances was in order, you'll see way more kids. Okay, but let's get back to the contract. All right, so I just wanted to show y'all in the APR. The APR rate is something that you're supposed to be receiving. That's not what you're supposed to be paying. Of course, if you call the banks tomorrow and say, hey, bank, what is the APR rate? They're going to say that is the portion that you're going to owe back to the banks when it's all said and done. That's what they're going to tell y'all. I don't got to work at the bank to understand that's what they're going to say. I know that's what they're going to say. All right. And if you don't believe me, just call them tomorrow and just simply ask them, hey, I just have a simple question. I was reading my contract and what is the APR rate? I see the interest. Like what can you explain that for me a little bit? All right. And that person on the phone is not a banker. It's not a private banker. All right. They are literally a public customer service helper at the bank. You got public service helpers at the bank that think they're bankers. But when they go home, they pay bills with their income. I literally had to tell somebody, hey, man, you're not a banker. Stop saying that. I am a banker. I work at the bank. No, you're a bank teller. You handle cash and put it in the register and close it and count the books all. You don't do no banking when you get home. You're not a banker. You don't understand interest. If you don't understand interest, you're not a banker. Do y'all understand that? And I'm not here to step on anybody's toes, but if you do not understand interest, you are not a banker. All right? That's like saying I'm a basketball player, but don't play with the basketball. You see what I'm saying? Like, how can you say you're a banker, but you don't understand interest? That's the basics of banking. Somebody said everybody pays bills with income. No, that's not true, family. You guys, hey, Big Dame, go back to work, Big Dame. You're little Dame to me. All right. Now, when you look at the contracts, when you keep reading, all right. Now, let me know when y'all get to the portion of where it says security interest. Make sure y'all get to, let me know, comment 7 when you see the word security interest. Read up under the finance charge and keep reading under that until you get to security interest. All right. So, yes. Okay, cool. I got 5-7. So 5-7s have said they see the word security interest on their contract. So let's read. Now, can y'all please type the phrase that y'all see where it says security interest? Does it say anything like you give us a security interest? Can y'all kind of type the phrase that you see? Because I don't want nobody to think I'm lying. All right. I don't want nobody to think I'm lying. Somebody said you're charging for this. God damn, this is free right now. You worry about the wrong things. Go get your contract, Lil Dane. All right, Lil Dane. Lil Dane, go get your contract, man. Come back and come on, man. We trying to get you free, man. Golly. Lil Dane. All right. So what do it say? It says, somebody says, grant us security interest. So I'm going to use Norm's. All right. Bloodline Bully says, you give us a security interest. Add a big mama's. A big mama. My bad if I said that wrong. You grant us a security interest. So y'all see, right? I don't have a contract in front of me. All right, I'm using y'all's. So let me ask y'all something. What does the word grant mean? If I say, hey, you grant me the ability to have a security interest in this property, what does that sound like? What does that sound like? What does that sound like? Somebody, Sand Mantra Network says hers or his, I'm not sure who, male or female, you are giving us a security interest in the goods or vehicle being purchased. Do y'all hear this? Do y'all hear this? They're literally telling you, hey, you done gave somebody off the street an interest inside of your damn property. You didn't have to do that. You thought you did because you said, well, I got to do this until I pay them off and then I get to get my... That's not true. That's not true, family. You already paid for it, all right? When they gave you that contract, that application is gone. That they use your application to pay, to basically open up the account, all right? That was the payment. That was the consideration. You got to understand the application was the collateral. The collateral, it was being held at the bank. They basically took that to the Federal Reserve Bank and got the Federal Reserve notes. But the thing is, they're holding the Federal Reserve notes. Why? Because they're the property managers. They're the account managers. So they hold the money until the owner comes forth and say, hey, you remember that money I told you to go get? Go ahead and use that on the principal's account or the trust account and go ahead and set off to zero so we can go ahead and have a complete performance. You have to leverage your security interest. You're not leveraging your security interest. All right? Now, let me ask y'all a question. Now, I want y'all to read, because it should be on y'all car contracts where you read where it says, it should say something along the lines like, if you get into a wreck or something like that, meaning you have to pay a deductible, meaning they're going to use your security interest to find you insurance, and the insurance is only going to cover their half. They're literally using your money, all right, and having a ball and telling you, hey, you got to pay us back or we're going to take the money. And they have your signature saying, yes, okay, I agree. So now when you go into default, all they got to do is say, hey, courts, they default on the contract. Hey, they stopped paying us. Clearly, as you see, we have a security interest in this contract, and we're coming forth to claim and repossess the car. Y'all, it's that easy for them. It's like taking candy from a baby. So they're not going to stop y'all because, oh my gosh, this is not right. Y'all got to understand how many people like yourself are working for these companies. You know how many of y'all are assholes at work? Somebody can call y'all tomorrow and say, hey, I'm going to do this. And you're going to be like, oh, man, it's you people. And that's what I learned. It's the peasants that are in the way. Y'all learned that? It's peasants that are in the way. You ever called a bank and then Lisa on the damn phone trying to tell you what a security interest? Lisa sitting her, I was about to say something that might get me banned. All right, but Lisa's sitting her poorly built self, okay, telling you that you're wrong. All right, it happens all the time, right? You ever went up to a dealership and told them truth and lending? They say, oh, yeah, we're on the truth and lending. But as soon as you say, okay, well, I want to use my security interest, they say, no, you can't do that. You got to put down the down payment with cash. These folks don't know nothing. And y'all the ones that work at these places. And that's why I can't wait till these robots come in. I can't wait till the AI robots come in. All right? Because soon, now, when you say certain things should register. All right? But we can't do anything if we got to go through 1 level, 2 level, 3 level, talk to an attorney that don't know anything. Now we got to go all the way to arbitration. Now we got to go all the way to court just for them to see that, oh, damn, the judge is not rocking with us. We really got to fight this guy. Hey, let's call him. Hey, how about a settlement? Why we got to go through all that? You see what I'm saying? And people trying to tell y'all, all right, well, if you have a trust, you don't have to go through that. Please don't believe these people. All right, just ask them how they pay their water bill. All right. Every time you open up an account, every time you gave an application, family, that application is not sitting in a file cabinet. That application was shipped to the CFO's department. That was then shipped over to the Federal Reserve, and they ship over applications daily. How do I know this? Federal Reserve, Section 16, Part 2. Read all the way, no, go all the way to the bottom. You don't even got to read it. Just go all the way to the bottom. It's going to literally tell you that the Federal Reserve agent, which is the CFO, they get accredited each and every day that they report the withdrawal of the Federal Reserve notes. So let's say I go to a bank and I want a home or something like that. As soon as I give them that application, it doesn't matter about my credit score. My credit score can be a 200. All right? My credit score can be a 200. All right? Soon as they take that application, it goes to their finance department. Y'all ever notice how that's like it's almost like the shadow realm. It's like soon as you send your application, it's like you're sitting in the waiting area. You in the damn lobby, like, okay, what am I going to wait? What is the doctor going to say? That's not how it's supposed to be. We submit applications, then we wait for them. Did I get approved? Then they come, sorry, unfortunately, we're not going to be able to approve you due to negative on your consumer report. We'll send you the reasoning, all right? And then when they send you the reason, y'all ever actually read the decline letters? Have y'all actually ever read the decline letters? It literally tells you, thank you for your consideration. But unfortunately, we're unable to extend you credit. They literally told you in layman's terms, thank you for your money, but we're not going to be able to do anything for you. Have a nice day. And we literally say, damn, let me go remove some things on my credit. Let me go call this credit repair dude, this credit repair woman. She says she good with my credit. She says she get it cleaned up in 30 days. She says man, we ain't doing none of that. I ain't even looked at my credit. I don't know what's on my credit report. Somebody could be stealing my identity right now. All right? Why do I not care? Because I can just come forth and claim all the contracts, all the accounts that I see on my credit or my consumer report. All right, I can say, yeah, that was me. And I'm coming forth to claim that security interest. All right, now that's next level. We ain't gonna talk about that. All right, but understand when you see the word security interest in your car contract, we're gonna talk about mortgages, don't worry. All right, but when you see the word security interest, it literally you're giving the banks an unnecessary security interest in your car. And that's the only reason why they're able to repo your car. Now, what are you supposed to do? All right, first of all, you have to learn what the hell we're talking about. And again, I'm going to tell you, the type of layers you can send, but a lot of y'all, you got to learn what's going on, y'all. Okay, you're not going to learn this overnight. You're not going to learn this just by watching some damn videos. You're actually going to have to start reading this stuff, y'all. All right, just think about how long you've been doing things wrong. Now think about how long you have to start doing right for it start to click. All right. So yeah, you did give a gift if you never rebutted any of their claims. Think about this. They literally slid you a paper in front of you. You didn't even read it. You didn't even change any of the terms. Imagine getting in the contract. Imagine being an NBA player and you about to go to negotiations with an NBA team and they just throw you a contract. You don't even read the damn contract. You say, okay, bitch. But in a contract, it literally says every time, all right, your contract is $10 million, but every time you miss a shot, it's $100. All right, every time you get a turnover, it's $500. Every time you get a foul, it's $1,000. Imagine if that was in the contract. Okay? You remember, you didn't read it. What's the guy from, man, great example I'm about to tell y'all. What's the guy that played for the Cincinnati Bengals? What's the rookie that haven't signed his rookie contract yet? Everybody was calling him crazy, like, man, he's stupid. He's an idiot. He's crazy. Who do you think he is? What's his name? I want people to know his name. All right. It's like Andre, something new. What's his name? Cincinnati Bengals rookie that just got drafted and he has not signed his rookie contract because of some BS that is in his rookie contract. No one would sign it. All right. What's his name, y'all? What's his name? Nobody watch football? I don't watch that shit either. You know what? What's his name? Shamar Stewart. Man, appreciate you. Thank you. Golly. Shamar Stewart. All right, so there's a guy that played for the Cincinnati Bengals named Shamar Stewart. He got drafted this year by the Cincinnati Bengals. All right. He did not sign his rookie deal. Now, he is the last rookie not to sign his deal to my knowledge. All right. Now, when you understand why he has not signed his deal, it's because he read his contract. His contract literally states his guaranteed money will be forfeited if he commits if he's ever suspended for the team for anything. Let's say he's late for curfew one damn time. It will literally take away his whole guaranteed contract. And he has a 4-year contract. So imagine being in his second year. Okay, and then let's say he was late to practice. He was dealing with family, start going through some mental things. Was late to practice, late to meeting. They suspended him. They could take his whole contract. Who in their right mind would sign that, y'all? Okay, it's the worst contract ever. All right, but the way the media's spinning, like, oh my God, he thinks he's somebody. It's not even that. That's why I try to tell y'all, read your contract, because imagine if he was just like, I'm just happy to be drafted by the Cincinnati Bengals. I'ma just sign, because that's a lot of kids' dreams. But he had enough awareness, like, okay, whoa, I'd rather not even play this year. I get drafted next year. Bold move. All right? Bold move. A move that a lot of y'all wouldn't have done. Okay? So that's why, like, literally, you got to understand, reading contracts is going to take you from zero to hero. It's going to help you dodge a lot of things that a lot of people that don't read contracts have to go through. People that don't read contracts have to sell their soul. People that don't read contracts got to do weird zesty shit to stay relevant. All right, people that don't read contracts have to basically go to work and hide in bathrooms at the last hour. All right, just so they can kill time. All right, people that read contracts, we don't gotta hide in. I can't remember the last time I hid. No, I take that back. I hide in the bathroom every morning from my kids. All right, but they're the only ones I'll hide from. All right, but hiding from a boss, all right, hiding from a supervisor and managers, I'm appalled at myself. Okay. Because when you read contracts, when you see, okay, there's a security interest here. Let me leverage this security interest. Let me send them a letter letting them know, hey, I'm sending them a letter, a notice of claim of interest. Let me send them a notice of claim of interest. All right, let me send them a notice of a claim of interest, letting them know that I'm coming forth to claim my interest. Oh my gosh, life is so damn easy. All right, you just got to do it. All right, you just got to do it. Now, it's not easy. Now, I'm just saying, the articulation is easy, but as far as, put these documentations together, that's the first document. Notice of claim of interest. You have to let them know that, hey, I'm coming forth to claim my interest that I gave you. Now, imagine them saying, hey, what interest are you talking about? Like, Bank of America, what are you talking about? What do you mean what interest I'm talking about? I'm talking about in the second paragraph where it says I gave you security interest. Well, I see I gave you something. Well, let me use what I gave you. Let me use the other half and go ahead and cover my half. Matter of fact, I'm a gentleman. Let me go ahead and cover your half too. Let me go ahead and zero the account out. What's the point of waiting for 72 months? We can do it right here, right now. Okay? You got 10 business days, Bank of America. Now, what y'all think Bank of America gonna do? Bank of America gonna either ignore me, or Bank of America gonna say, hey, we don't understand this, we don't operate this, this is not in our policy. All right, we're then going to send them a follow-up letter. This is where a lot of people fail. All right, you have to send a follow. If it's not a yes, then it's a no. Y'all are trying to explain Bank of America what interest is. Y'all don't think they know what that is? They're the damn borrowers. Y'all don't think the banks know what y'all trying to explain the banks what their job is. Okay? And then y'all don't know enough to sue, so stop wasting your time trying to tell these fiduciaries how to do their jobs. Ignorance of the law is no excuse. Okay? So when you understand this, all right, this is what we're pushing forward. This is what we're coming forth and claiming. We're claiming the security interest. And if they don't allow us to claim listen to the verbiage, if they don't allow us to claim our security interest, doesn't that sound like security fraud? Y'all let me know. I can't give you legal advice, but I can give you lawful awareness. Y'all let me know if does that not sound like somebody is mismanaging my security that I gave them? That's if I give you a £1/4 and I say go flip it and dip it, all right? And then I call you and say, yo, you got that money, and then you say, man, what money? All right, man, we gonna have some problems. You forgot the QP I gave you? Did you forget the security interest I gave you? Okay? Because now we have us an easy case. Now, I'm not here to try to find 100 billion violations. A lot of y'all are trying to find 1 billion trillion violations. Oh, I got them for this, for this, for this, for this, for this. Like, yo, slow your roll. Slow your roll. Find one violation. You only need to be right once. You don't need to be right 10, 15, 20, 30. I had one guy tell me I found 173 violations. I said, man, I ain't about to read this, man, because the court's not reading this. Okay? What is your main point? All right? What is your main point? You say security fraud. How did the corporation mismanage your securities? All right? Do you have a contract? All right? Because to count security fraud, there must have been some type of contract. All right? And a lot of people ask me this, well, if I don't have a contract, can I say security fraud? I always ask them, did you give them an application? A lot of us don't understand that in the application is a contract. Didn't you sign it? Didn't it say submit? Didn't you hit that button that said submit? Didn't they say, are you sure that all things are correct in this before you hit submit? You hit submit. That was the first contract. We think the first contract is when they bring us the terms. No, family. The contract was already given. They came back with a double contract and basically renegotiated your application. That's basically what happened. Okay? You renegotiate, meaning you gave them the application, everything was paid for, then they slid the contract in front of you, say, do you promise to pay us every single month? And then you was like, yes, did I get a proof? You see what I'm saying? We're too childlike. We're too much trying to look at the shiny, glittery things instead of reading the black and white because it's boring to us. We start reading like, what do I sign that? It's to the point now that the corporations is just basically get you over to the point where you sign. You ever was about to act like you read and they say, oh, yeah, you can just sign here, sir. You know, they're not trying to rush you through it. They just understand that people is not going to read something and just say, wait a minute. I see here, boom, boom, boom. Can we adjust it? Yeah, think about how many times that has happened. Rarely ever. Rarely ever. Yeah, same thing with employment applications. How many times y'all applied to jobs and you didn't get them? Damn, this is good. Get Fruity Cafe. Whoever Get Fruity Cafe. Sheesh. Yeah, y'all forgot what I said. What did I say before that? Yeah, that's too good. What did I just say before that? Okay. Yeah, I forgot what I said. I was lost in the quenchness of the thirst. Oh, job application. That's what I was talking about. Sheesh. Man. Shout outs to getfruity.com. Okay? Job application. Think about how many job applications that you submitted. Y'all remember when we was broke, when we was sitting in the house, because everybody was like, man, get a job, your lazy ass. We on Indeed. We just submitting. Oh my God, I didn't even think about that. You put in the social, submit, you done made a whole resume. Now you got it so it's one click submit. I remember applying to like 50 jobs every day. Oh my God. Oh my God. I just thought about job fairs. Y'all know when they be like, we're having a job fair to fill goddamn 100 like 20 spots, but they'll apply, 5,000 applications. Where are these applications going? All right. I bet you These applications going to the finance department. The finance department is taking those to the bank and cashing them in as collaterals because the banks understand how to use them. Y'all got to understand the low folks ain't supposed to know how to use them. It's the high folks. Man. Somebody said, man, are you kidding? Are you lying? Hey, man, you tell me. I didn't read this nowhere. I'm just going off applications. The Federal Reserve, Section 16 it says any application. So I'm going to say a job application is any application. You see what I'm saying? Because didn't you put your social on it? Didn't you give your government name? Didn't you put your birthday on it? Just like you would do a car, a house. It's the same thing. So why do we think it's different? That's why I tell you, I don't know why y'all are going to work. Y'all like to tell yourselves, man, okay, it sound good. No, it ain't about sounding good. That's what it is. I know some of y'all glitching right now. You know, it's not making sense to you, but you got to understand folks have been living like this for years. All right? You got to get past that glitch. All right? That cognitive dissonance, like, just get past it, okay? All right? Like, get past it. Slap yourself. All right? This is it. This is real. You were wrong. It's okay. You were wrong. Your mother was wrong. You mama's boys, your mama's was wrong. You daddy girls, your daddy was wrong, okay? That's what it is. All right? So that's why I try to find the most degrading terms to tell you people this so y'all can say, damn, all right, I don't want to be no peasant no more. All right? Because that's what a peasant is. You're going against the grain. You're going against your best interests. That is the ultimate insanity. Okay? Your security interests don't matter. I know because I know somebody who asks, can I do this with my house? Read your contract. If you see the word security interest. So now that we understand that the word security interest is in mortgages, leases, student loans, credit card agreements, now we can go ahead and eliminate the glitter material. Let's go ahead and take away the mortgage. Let's take away the word house. Let's take away the word car. Let's take away the word student, tuition. All right, and let's focus on the account. When you focus on the account, you will understand the account is what creates the car, the house, the student loan. Focus on the car. When you understand, my bad, when you focus on the account, you'll understand how the car is there, because they'll try to flip it and say, no. All right, the car is the collateral. No, it's not. The car is not the collateral. The collateral was the application that I gave you. Y'all see how they switch it? So when they say, well, you gave us a collateral in the car. Cool. You can have collateral in the car, but I gave you a supreme security collateral with the application. Y'all see the difference? You got to know this articulation. Mortgage companies do not know this. Loan officers do not know this. Attorneys do not know this. I know I look like this, y'all, and y'all probably think, well, why do you know this? Because I read, all right? All the weed I smoke, yes, I read more than the attorneys that you think that may know more than me. All right? But I know if they don't understand that the interest can be leveraged to set off accounts, I know that they don't know anything. All right, so they can be the best dressed professional Harvard, okay? I'm going to pull up smelling like a pound of weed, and they're going to lose, okay? And y'all going to be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this. I don't know why. I've been trying to tell you this. These gumbos don't know anything, okay? They literally waving a bar card in front of y'all. Do y'all not understand how many times they lose? Okay, their losses are settlements. That's why you don't see the L's on their records. All right, ask them how many settlements they've been in. You don't ask them how many cases they lost. Ask them how many settlements. Well, how many times y'all had to settle? All right, they don't actually. Y'all not asking the right questions. That's why y'all think they know more. They don't know anything. These attorneys. All right, half of these judges really don't know anything either. That's why a lot of times you have to lose the case, appeal, and get it looked at by a higher court, because the higher court is higher than the lower court. It's like they big brothers, like, oh, my bad by my little brother, he messed up, but we're going to go ahead and overturn this ruling. That happens all the damn time. All right, but you wouldn't notice because soon as you lost, you didn't appeal. You literally said, I was a scammer. You said, man, that stuff didn't work. I'm going back to work. As if you hurt somebody. You see what I'm saying? You didn't understand, like, hey, you really didn't lose. You just had a judge that just found out his wife was having sex with another race, and he came to work that day, and he didn't look over your stuff, and he just went along and said, no, 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 and you had to get it appealed and looked at by a higher court. That's really what be happening, y'all. Y'all think these judges don't be going through real life things? Yes. They're regular people. Do y'all not understand that? They got the same habits with you. I bet there are some judges around here that pays bills out of their judge income checks. All right? Because they don't know. They don't know. All right? Yeah, everybody's going to seem like a scam, y'all. So that's why y'all hear people say, well, they're a scam. They're a scam. Just ask them, okay, if they're a scam, did you go find the right way? Because everybody that tells me, well, I found the right way, man, so you were wrong. You gave us bits and pieces. I found the right. And I say, well, did you get results? And they say they still on the journey. I say, well, you don't even know if you found it. You don't know if I'm a scammer yet. Because you haven't found it the opposite way. The only way to call me a scammer if you literally got a whole nother way and it debunked everything. I never seen that happen. Okay, never. Never. That's fine. Somebody said you got to pay the cost of appeal. That's fine. Stop being poor. You got to pay to play. Stop being poor. Everything isn't going to be free, y'all. You can get it all back when it's all said and done. You make you a fee schedule. You just jot everything down that you done came out of pocket. Folks trying to penny pint, and that's why a lot of y'all is not going to get to the next level. Y'all see a little fee like, oh, I don't want to pay that. Oh, I thought you said it was going to be free. Damn. Pay it. All right? If that little ass fee is what's stopping you from getting the results on the other side. If I just got to pay 40, 100, 150, all right, just so I can get my 50,000, my 100,000, so be it. That's the problem with a lot of y'all. Man. All right. Yes, if you've been paying it, it is adding up. Make you a fee schedule and go claim it from your estate. That's why you got to learn these things, family. All right. I understand you didn't know that. That's why I'm giving you that piece right there. You got to go get it from your estate. If you tired of coming out your pocket, you got to create a fee schedule so you can get your agent dues. All right. Because you're doing things on behalf of the principal. You got to go get it from the principal. That's going to take some learning to do. That's what I'm trying to tell you. All right? You're not supposed to be worried about anything that come out your pocket, anything I pay. Rather, it's on a bill. All right? I'm going to get it right back. I'm not worried about that. And if I got to use y'all money, so be it. All right? So be it. So be it. Folks really trying to penny pinch. I know it. I know it. What you gonna do? Goddamn. What you gonna do? Leave? What you gonna do? Yes, I use your money when I have to use it in court. Yes. All right, yes. Why would I use mine? Okay. When I gotta buy myself time, yes, I use you people's money. Okay? Like, what are we doing, man? That's why I say, man, some people trying to be too gung-ho and don't even understand, man. You gotta pay to play. All right? You gotta pay to play. If it's a fine, pay it. I'm not about to sit there and argue with the clerk of court. Well, especially, let's say I give them a waiver. Let's say they're not rocking with my waiver. And I'm telling them, hey, you got to do this. Man, I'm about to just pay that money to the action so I can get my case in. What are we doing? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They can duplicate paperwork and waive fees, but you got some people that, they literally drop that whole bomb. Y'all are literally filling these waivers out and putting how much you're making at your jobs. And y'all wondering why y'all don't have food stamps. Y'all wondering why you don't get things for free when you do things on the government level. Because you keep telling them, hey, I have a government name and I'm getting an income. Do y'all hear that? Hey, I have a government name that houses all my interests, but I also have income. You're not supposed to have income. That's what I've been trying to tell y'all. You're literally waiving so many benefits because you have income. Aren't you tired of seeing people use food stamp, being able to fill up 2 damn buggies? You done spent $400 and all you did was get some bread, bologna, cheese, eggs, and some dog food. All right, ain't you tired of that? You're not supposed to be coming out of pocket. You're literally going to work, using that money and using it on groceries. All right, there's a food stamp act. That's for all government names. All right, somebody asks, how do I present my case to a judge after I pass the private? Good question. After I do my first wave, second wave, third wave, I'm compiling all my evidence. All right, I'm literally transferring that to a public claim. I'm going down to my courthouse. I'm literally letting them know I'm here to file a claim. Most claims is like $420. You can do a fee. You can do a fee waiver. The fee waiver is basically going to ask you how much assets you got, how much money you have. I literally let them know I don't have anything because I'm the agent. I don't have a damn thing. All right. So now from there, you know, you get the claim for free if you do the waiver correctly. Okay. All right. Now you can do numerous of things. All right. Now I can't give you legal advice, but I can give you lawful awareness. All right. Let's say they're mismanaging your securities. You could say security fraud. All right, because one of the elements of security fraud is a mismanagement of security. All right. Another claim that you can I can't say do with the claim because that would be giving legal advice. If it was me, you know, some of the things I would probably do, I'll probably go forth and do unjust enrichment or something like that, because unjust enrichment lets basically me telling the courts that the opposite party is receiving benefits from my security interests and I'm not receiving anything, and I have a contract stating that I gave them a security interest. Open the closed book case. All right, it's just about compiling the evidence, taking it to court. You got to have a damages. So what would be my damages? My damages, I can say, okay, the car was $112,000. I came forth to try to claim the $112,000 of security interest. They told me no. So minimum, the amount in questions is $112,000. All right, because that's the amount that's in question. So I can say I'm out of $112,000. I can say now, me being out of $112,000, I cannot perform my bills, and it is harming me tremendously. All right, that's a damage. You see what I'm saying? All right, now I gotta I gotta establish jurisdiction as well. All right, I gotta establish my claim. I can't just say security fraud if I don't build up the elements of security fraud. I can't say breach of fiduciary duties if I don't build up the elements of breach of fiduciary duty. One of the first things I gotta have is a what? A contract. That's why I try to tell y'all, get your contract, because you can't do no type of claim with no contract. You can't just send tenders of payment and then make that your evidence. But what is your exhibit A? Your exhibit A has to be a contract. All right, because there is no security fraud if there's no contract. There is no breach of contract if there's no contract. There's no breach of fiduciary duty if there's no contract. You see what I'm saying? So once you understand how to read your contract, you're going to start to understand all contracts. Do you not know how many rappers, how many athletes, how many people get into bad contracts because they don't read it, because they're so damn desperate? That's why I don't feel bad for them. All right, how are you falling to the same things that people before you fell? They were saying the same thing. Oh, I'm in the bad contract. I'm in the bad contract. I'm in the bad contract. Like, is no one reading? All right. Somebody said I don't have a contract with your servicer. You do have a contract with your servicer. How are they sending you a bill? How are they sending you a bill with your name on it? All right. Stop saying these things, people. Okay. All right. It's almost like little kids saying, I didn't find it. And then you look under the cover. It's right there. What do you mean you didn't find it? All right. You do have a contract. You have an agreement. How else are you getting a bill? How did they get your, how are you paying them in cash? Are you going to their door and playing out of pocket? Did not understand that. All right. But if you have an account, you have a contract, because how do an account get created with no contract? You see how we create obstacles. That's one of the biggest issues as human beings. We create things, or, well, I don't got that. Well, I don't got. Like you say, like a lot of us do that. You know what I'm saying? No offense to the one that said that, but a lot of us do that. All right. A service agreement is a contract. An agreement is a contract. If I say, hey, I'm going to cut your grass for $10, or do you promise to give me $10 after I cut it? And then you say yes, and we shake on it. That is a verbal, oral contract. It's an agreement. All right. Just like cell phones, you have an agreement. That is a contract. All right, it may be shifted a little different from a car contract, but they're all contracts. When you can look at all contracts and see, okay, this is an agreement, so this is a contract. Y'all know how many times you probably on a call and they told you you don't have a contract, you have an agreement, because those peasants that are on the phone that you're talking to don't know anything either. That's what I'm trying to tell people. You see what I'm saying? Bring the robots in. We gotta bring the robots in. All right, because I get so many people that say, well, I called my bank, they told me this stuff is not real. All right, so are you sure you know what you're talking about? I said, so let me ask you a question. Who you think is right, me or your bank? All right, because you talking to me because you trying to get something from your bank. You're not calling your bank and trying to get something from me. So go rock with them. You see what I'm saying? Like, people don't even understand what they want. Babies. You know what I'm saying? People don't even understand what they want. All right? You could literally go challenge the banks. Do you honestly think they're going to say, oh my gosh, you got us? Yes, we have your security interest. How would you like us to apply it? Do y'all honestly think that's how it's going to go? Please show me any case that has ever went like that. Because I'll put it on my page, okay? Okay. All right, so that's what's going on, family. Read your contract. Mortgages the same way. Security interest. It literally says you give us a security interest in the property. All right, you can remove their security interest. Now they can't evict you. Now you can demand your title. The reason why you haven't demanded your title because you haven't utilized your security interest, transferred over to the principal's account for full set off. After you do that, then you demand your deed. Then you demand all the payment that you came out of pocket. That's why you have to perform the full balance, not the remainder that you've been paying out of pocket. You do whatever the amount was when you first moved in, when you first signed on that dotted line, how much that total amount is on the finance charge last box. All right, that's how much you're claiming. You do not claim less than that. All right, because when you claim the full amount of the contract, everything that you came out of pocket would now look like an overpayment. All right, now you can get that back in restitution. All right, all that is going to be funneled into your claim. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. We understand what we're doing over here. All right, y'all got to stop judging the book by its cover, judging the message how it's delivered. You got to just kind of pick up the pieces as it is. All right, or you can leave it. But one thing you can't do is try to live two lives. You're not supposed to be working. You're literally getting paid out of your own estate when you get paid from jobs, big corporations. We're not talking about the mom and pop shows. All right, we're not talking about the mom and pop jobs. We're talking about the big corporations. All right, you are literally, and that's why it's called slavery. You people are slaves. Why do I say you? Because I removed myself from slavery, having the slave mindset of telling myself I have to go work to make money to pay a bill. That is a slave mindset. I'm not saying that there are slave owners out there. I say there's a slave mindset to tell yourself I need to wake up early every morning, get myself together, get into traffic, get my coffee before I go in, get my Slim Jim or my unhealthy food before, whatever, make my way to work, chit chat about sports, talk about a bunch of nothing, kill time, 10 hours go away. Now my body's tired, I'm mentally drained. Now I want to go to work. I want to go home, just kick back, watch ESPN, catch up on my sports. And you see what I'm saying? Doing over and over and over again. You are a slave, my friend, and you can try to validate and say, well, this is what I like to do. It's hard out here for us. Like, you can say all that. that po-ass shit all day to the other folks. All right, that sounds good to them. That don't sound good to people that actually read and that actually understand that we have opportunities. All right. Also, we can create, we can make things happen. But first and foremost, we got to have intelligence. We have to have intel. All right. Or you can say things like, well, I gotta die someday. I'm just gonna do what I like to do, and all right. And you're gonna be right back on this same realm going over and over and over again. Some of y'all done been here multiple times. That's why you're so cool with doing what you're doing. But something your higher self is trying to tell you, hey, man, sit here and look at this brother with the tattoos on his face. All right? He's trying to tell you something. All right? Some of y'all gonna pick it up, some of y'all not. But I'm here to let you know you're not getting nothing out of work. You can think you are because you're paying the bill. Well, I got a roof over my head. I've been keeping food. Keep it up. That's what I'm saying. See how far you can do it. See how long you can do it. All right? Some people can't do it long. Some people can do it long. Some people try to tell themselves, if I don't do it, no one's gonna do it. You right, Goofy. Nobody's supposed to be doing it. Nobody's supposed to be working for your kids. All right? Nobody's supposed to be breaking their backs and losing sleep. All right? No one's supposed to be doing that. So literally creating a make-believe, I don't know, making a make-believe movie in your mind saying, I'm the hero, I gotta save the day, I'm gonna work my butt off, I'm gonna work 3, 4, 5 jobs, I'm gonna do, man, that sound good to the poor people, man. That sounds good to the poor people, y'all. Nobody of wealth is trying to hear that shit at all. And y'all can say, well, you can be a little humble. Yo, it's not about being humble. No wealthy people is having that conversation at the table. Talking about, I'm just doing what I can, I work 4, 5 jobs, if I don't do it, nobody else, all my kids got it. Nobody to hear that po-ass shit, man. So many people literally hang their hats on that. It's for my kids, man. You don't even read. I wouldn't even put that on my damn kids. Because when your kids grow up and they start learning and saying like, damn, my daddy didn't even have to do all that. All your hero ball that you think you'll get praised for, man, they're going to be looking at you like, Dad, did you know you didn't have to do that? Imagine that. That's what I'm saying. A lot of y'all trying to build this fake ass victory story that you're not going to, what did Draymond tell Paul Pierce? They don't love you like that. All right? Soon as they learn the truth, bro, they not going to love you for, well, my daddy did this. Well, my daddy worked his butt off, because they're going to be hearing folks that came from programs like mine saying, well, we didn't even have to work. We didn't even have to do that. We were supposed to leverage our security interests. Okay? So a lot of people tell me, well, somebody has to pay. You are right. Somebody's going to be being the workers at these jobs. Somebody's going to be with the picket fence when the robots come in and say, save our jobs. Save our jobs. It's going to be mainly the Democrats. I don't vote. I don't vote at all. I don't get into politics, but it's mainly going to be the Democrats. All right? Y'all going to be outside with the dashikis on, with the fists. With the different flags, with the rainbow flags. You're going to have all type of flags on and saying, save our jobs. Save our jobs. Yeah. 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 If you want to get any movement off, go to the Democratic Party and say, yo, we got a donation. Here's our movement. It's 10 movements going on. Yeah. Yeah. And again, I don't vote at all. All right, I'm a reader. I read my contracts. No need to vote. All right, I read my contracts. I know how to claim my contracts. No matter if a Republican president get in there, no matter if a Democrat president get in there, they cannot mess with our securities. They can't touch them. So I don't matter. It don't matter if we go to crypto, if we go to pebbles and rocks. All right, we got security collaterals. All right. We're one of the few countries where you can walk into an establishment, create credit out of thin air. How many of y'all done went to T-Mobile before, or some type of phone company, went in there and didn't think you were going to get a phone? You walked out with 3 phones with nothing down. All right, and they told you, hey, you don't gotta pay nothing for 3 months. You think you gotta steal. You really do. But they wait those 3 months and they send you the bill like $200, $300, and then now you're trying to pay. Now they got you because you never claimed the security interest. How you think you walked out with those phones? All right, how y'all think y'all be test driving these cars? Don't you got to give your license to them before you test drive the car? Do you not know that's a contract? You literally just gave them your debit card, your credit card. My bad. Did you know your ID? My bad. I'm talking real fast. Did y'all know that your license is a credit card? Did y'all know that? You know when you go through the airport and you give them your ID, they put it through their machine. It's registering. Do y'all hear the word? Everything is banking. Everything is banking. All right. So when you go get a car, when you test drive the car, when you gave them that ID, you paid for the car already. You see what I'm saying? You actually paid for the car. All right. Now, when you came back and said, okay, I like it. Okay, let's get in the car. Okay, let's do the paperwork. All right. That's when the game go down. All right. And another thing. Last before I go, these cars that y'all see on the dealerships are not owned by the dealership. Did y'all know that? So when these dealerships trying to sound all gung-ho about, we can't let it go for that, we'll be losing money. These are not your cars. Tell Tim I told you that, Tim, you don't own these cars out here. These cars are for the consumers, the investors. Tim talking about, oh, we can't let it go for that because what do you mean you can't let it go? Tim, you get off at 5 o'clock. Tim, you make what's people that make money off of sales? All right, chill, Tim. You don't get no money off of the total cars on the damn lot. Stop. You're not that guy. What they be saying? You're not that guy. Okay. But they got Tim outside being the little dog, letting us, hey, you can't do that. No, hey. You know, they don't really grease Tim up to be able to be a spokesman. That's why these car salesmen, yeah, they commission. All right. That's why you people that work in commission, you are literally buttered up by the company to be the best salesman so you can bring the company sales. And we reward you with treats so you can go harder. Y'all not see? Do you not see it? Now they put people into each other like, hey, Tim, Craig is coming up on you. He's getting more commissions. He's going to be employee of the month. What you going to do, Craig? Now y'all bickering. I'm waiting for him. Man, I'm like, yo, I don't know how y'all don't see it. All right, y'all tell me to be polite and be kind. I try my best. But it's kind of hard not to see what's going on when you used to be in those shoes. I'm talking about people tell you, I'm the best salesman. Well, if you're the best salesman, why can't you be the best salesman for your estate? You see what I'm saying? It's levels, y'all. Yeah, it's levels, man. Folks don't know anything, all right? So if you've been making amazing commission, all right, you worker, listen, read your contract and elevate your security interests. You don't have to worry about commission anymore, all right? The only thing you should be focused on is security interests, not commission. If I got to start a chant, 100-man march, security interest, no commission. Security interest, no commission. We'll do it, all right? If that's what we got to do, we'll do it. All right? We'll do it. All right, with that being said, until next time, family, peace and love.